Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Big Sky Hobby Corner. Another installment on our SIG Koverall project with our 4-star 40. In our last video, we left off with actually getting the covering on the airplane. And now it's time to take care of our seams. Now part of this I've already taken care of off camera just due to the dry time. What you want to do is go over all your seams and where your covering is anchored down, and put a coat of that dope, that 50-50 that we mixed up of butyrate and butyrate thinner. What that does, that actually acts as a glue to kind of help hold everything together a little bit better. And now, we're at a fork in a road, actually a 3-fork, 4-crossroad, whatever. We have a decision to make here. Now I'm going to show you what I do. You don't have to do this. Taping your seams. You don't have to, if everything is stuck down properly. I do it for a peace of mind. Now there's options at this point. You can trim covering and throw down some sticks it over your seams, iron the covering down, and then treat that with dope. Or you can go to Chief Aircraft or Aircraft Spruce, one of those two, and get pinking tape, actual pinking tape like they use on real airplanes. Or this other option I explored, and it actually works really well. You can get this stuff just about anywhere. It's called Durapore. Now, the material is, I guess, evidently top secret information, but it's surgical tape. And it's just like pinking tape, and you can get it in several different widths. I've got 3-inch, then I've got 1/2-inch. Mostly I use as 1/2-inch, but in certain situations where you got it like you want to seal a hinge gap, I'll use a 3-inch and trim excess. So on this particular airplane, I'm going to hit mainly just our bottom seams here and then around the tail feathers. I do this just for peace of mind. We're going to lay our tape over the seams, and then we're going to treat it with our 50-50 dope just to make it even stronger. And then after that, we'll actually be ready to shoot our first clear coat on here. Now, I'm going to digress a little bit. You know, I said a few videos ago that dust is our enemy here. Well, it's been several days since I've got the covering out because we ran out of propane. We didn't have any heat out here, and I'm not going to work when it's 30 degrees out here. What did I do? The airplane set out in the open air to dust and all that good stuff. It's part I didn't cover. No, it wasn't. It was actually sealed up in a leaf bag. Go get you a leaf bag. Put your parts in there. If your airplane is small enough to do so, the SIG 4-star 40 fits in a leaf bag just fine. So I just had everything bagged up to protect it from the dust. Get ready to work on it, pulled it out, and here we are. We can continue working, and the airplane is surprisingly very clean at this point. Okay, before we get started, be selective on where you put your tape. There is a such thing as too much, just mainly because it'll look kind of gaudy. I have an airplane. I did it to all the seams. It worked great, but it just didn't look great. Okay. So this one, I'm going to be a little more selective. Another thing you have to keep in mind is fit of your components. Our wing saddle, I'm not going to tape that because when I fit the wing to the wing saddle, it was a dry fit. It was fit for monocoque. Okay. So I'm not going to put any pinking tape in this area. I'm just going to trim it up really well and just make sure that we're secured really well before I blow it out, okay? So we should be fine there. So, with that being said, we're going to get started here. I'm going to start with our 1/2-inch. There's a section on the tail here I'm going to use some of that 3-inch on. So, we'll get this started. And you hear my doggo scratching at the door. Let me let her in right quick. She likes to come out here and hang out. I don't know why I don't have snacks. Come on, Bella. She'll come out here and sniff around a little bit and then want back out. But she's usually pretty good once she's in here. She'll lay down when she gets bored. So we're going to take our tape. I hope y'all can see that. And then our center seam right here, I'm just going to lay it right in the middle of it. I'm just taping it down. So if you get your edge a little crooked or something like that, it's not really that big of a deal because this will cover it up. All right, now what I do with my knife, I had it out here just a minute ago. Little sidebar note. Want you to go check one of my good friends out, his YouTube channel as well. He is a builder as well. His name's Andrew Gideon. And his YouTube channel is named just that. If I remember after this video uploads, I'll actually put a link down in the comments. He's building this really sweet little super chipmunk right now. And this guy is one of the rare true builders. He takes his time with his models, and they look fantastic when he's done. He's really doing an outstanding job on this super chipmunk. But you get some time, you get tired of hearing me yak, go check out his videos. We have a lot of similar methods that we use and products that we like to use. All right, back to the subject at hand here. I made a change while we were off there for a little bit. I did have a center seam along this section here. I wasn't real happy with the way it was laying out because over the lightning holes, it was gonna throw some wrinkles larger than what I could get out and make it look nice. So if you're gonna make a change, right now is the time to do it. So I did. I cut that center section out and just covered the bottom of it with its own piece. Okay, I know it's not my ultimate goal, but what's going to look better? So I just did this. Now with these seams on the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and tape those. Okay, so, and what you do around a 90-degree corner, you split it. Okay, half and half. So we're going to have like a 1/4 inch over 1/4 inch. So the way I'll do that, I'll start over here on the side, stretch my tape out, and always overshoot your seams or your ends. So it's just like I'm just gently take your time. And we get it anchored down real good. Cut it loose out here on the end. And if you, right here, you can actually see it has those pinked edges like the pinking tape. That's why I like it. And another reason, I like it. You can buy a whole case of it, like 24 rolls of this, for 12 bucks. So I got plenty of tape for about, I think everything I've got that I'm going to cover in fabric. I should be good to go on that. And I want to give a shout out to my buddy that works for 3M, Aaron Sherman, over in Brookings, South Dakota. He's the one that suggested this, and he actually sent me a sample to try, and it worked great. So now I'm just working it over. Now I've always got this habit, whether it's in graphics or laying monocoat or whatever the case may be, if I've got to spread stuff out, I always start in the middle and work my way to the outside. Just like that. Now we'll come back and trim those loose edges later. Now she wants back out. Bella, go lay down, okay? She don't know what we're doing out here. She's my old dog. She is 13 years old and just an old hound. Lap dog. Used to be a lap dog, but it hurts her anymore to jump up and hang out with me. So she'll just come by every now and then and let me scratch her ear. And then again on this side. Now we're going to do some trimming down here at the end. You can kind of see through it too. And actually tell you how we wound up on the Durapore. Visiting with some of the old timers, that this is how you had to cover airplanes back in the day. I was asking, I said, well, what did you use if you couldn't get pinking tape, the actual pinking tape? And one of them chirped up and said, we used to use that Scotch hair tape that the ladies used to use to train their hair to do those fancy bouffant hairdos. That always worked well. So, of course, I did research. And found out Scotch, of course, is 3M. And I got a hold of my buddy and said, "Hey, I need some hair tape. Y'all still have that?" No. That's been gone for a while now. So he said, "Here, try this. This is similar to it. See what you think." And of course, I practice on a model that I hadn't intended on flying. I'm actually going to put it. It turned out looking pretty good. See, that stuff trim is real easy. I just trimmed off the little bit of excess here in the back so we're not triple layered. And wound up with this. Okay, we're going to take care of something else here while we're working back here. Again, this is just for my peace of mind. You don't have to do this, but I'm gonna. Because I can. It's Ryan's model actually, but I'm just going to do this. We're going to add some strength where the push rod exits are. Now, mind you, we're going to dope all these seams here in a minute. So I've already done it on this side. I've got 3-inch Durapore, and where our push rod exits are, I went on ahead and laid some down. Okay. And I'm going to do that over here. Get the model where you can work with it. This stuff sticks really good too. Smooth it out. And believe it or not, it actually stretches along with the coverall when we go to heat it up. Go ahead and cut it off there and then trim off our excess. Now you're probably wondering, why didn't you go ahead and cut them out, all the cutouts? And here's why. I'll tell you why. There's a reason I didn't. Is because you can if you want to. But I found out if you go ahead and shoot your clear on here and get everything doped up really nice, it actually cuts out a whole lot easier and cleaner after you get it doped with your clear coat. Alright, that's got that taken care of. And now, back here, you notice I didn't cover my triangle stock. That's because I got a plan. I want to use this to kind of cover that. That's what my idea is. This stuff, it actually forms really, really well. Now I'm going to do this in strips. Starting at the bottom and working up. Again, folding our excess over. Making a straight line. Cut. That was dangerous and dumb. Shit, got a hole there. That's all right. We can make an inspection cover to go over that. I'll show you how to do that. Be careful when you hang it onto a knife. And just trim, go straight up. I'll just squish that down right there. And that's what it'll look like. Again, it's not a scale model, so I mean, peace of mind. Scale model, you probably want to do it a little bit different. Coffee. I'm fueled on caffeine, sarcasm, and inappropriate thoughts. Alright, we'll just do the same here to the other side. And this stuff, actually, if you want to tear it, you can. It tears really well. Let's make our seams match from side to side. And Ryan, he's in the middle of a build. I'll probably upload a video of that too a little later. Well, later, I'm going to video it later today. He's building a Balsa USA DR1. And I'll tell you what, that kid is just having an absolute blast with that. And I'm having fun helping him. Now, he's doing everything. The only thing I'm doing is just making sure he's got the right parts. It even kind of has that hair tape smell. Get that gone out of the way. Now, if you want to, you can run tape all along your edges and stuff. You don't have to. This one I chose not to. Now see back here where everything comes together, really finicky little spot. So I'm gonna buy a piece of mine and just go some tape over that little area. First, I'm gonna cut a seam piece. Turn loose. Go lay down. And then cover that little area. I'll trim off the excess in a bit. And then kind of like a little saddle piece right there. That just kind of helps close the gap. Sticks to everything. Cut off. Ah, look, that matched up perfect. All right, that takes care of that little portion. Now underneath, where our horizontal stab meets up with the fuselage, I'm going to go ahead and put a piece there on both sides. Beat it up. I'll start with it. Man, I'm just shaky today. I don't know why. Maybe it's this medication they got me on. Got me on a crazy pill. Alright. Again, quarter inch top and then bottom along the side to join the seam to the aircraft. Again, we're just adding strength is all we're doing. Now see, if you were doing fabric, those little strips of fabric, number one, it's a pain in the butt to cut. Number two, you'd have to come in and lay sticks it everywhere and let that dry. I'm glad my buddy turned me on to this. Helps to know people. It's like my friend that works for DuPont and helping me figure out what materials to use to make my own color butyrate. Now you have a very limited selection in your colors. I like fun colors. Plus I'm getting older, harder to see. Fun colors are easy to see. Alright. That is that. And now the only other places I'm going to put my tape is up here on the cheeks, because that area does see some abuse. So I'm only going to tape the cheek area on the seams and fold it over. We're probably 3/8 thick with our 1/2 inch tape here. It's not going to be too terrible. You're not going to have a whole lot of excess to fold over. So it'll work out good. Now I've already doped all this. You're fine, Bella. So what I did, I just cut that to match. Get down in there where our tuning needle goes. I could probably get away without taping this, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna call it good. I get tickled. Ryan says he don't want to cover with fabric. And I can understand. He's 12. He's got 12-year-old boy patience. But if he ever has to do some repair to this, he's going to do it. And he's going to have to learn. I know, I'm bad. So now, all you got to do, got my knife ready. Just in case I have to split it. This stuff's actually really good. I'm just taking my fingers and rubbing it down. And just like that. Looks actually really good. Alright, cool. You know, yeah, why don't we? I mean, nobody's going to see this part, but just for a little bit of added strength, I'm going to tape this this underside where it's curved. Nobody's really going to see this part when it's on the ground. just a, what do they say, an ounce of prevention saves 10 pounds of cure. So instead of having everything come apart on me up here, I'm just going to go ahead and tape it. It don't even look that bad. Alright, cheeks, tail feathers, bottom seams. Alright, we're golden. Now we're going to put our dope on. I'm going to do top side first. I'm using, alright Bella, I'm going to let her out. There you go. I'm going to use the number 4 brush. It gives us a little better control. And I do have the door crack, just so you know. So I'm just going to dope it down to where the fabric meets the tape. The rest of it will get, this is so to secure it for when we blow it out tomorrow. I'm going to let this set for 24 hours. The rest of that tape, I know you're asking, what about the rest of it? It'll get shot when we go to clear it. And it'll work out just fine. Once again, I just want to let you guys know I appreciate all the positive feedback. I only had one dislike. Oh well. Again, like I say, how much did they pay to watch it? You know, I'm gladly give their money back. If anybody's paying, it's me. None of this. The only thing that didn't cost anything was this kit. And it was sent to Ryan from Rod Mustard out of Helena. And the deal was, I build it, Ryan flies it. And I have absolutely no problem with that. Of course, Ryan, when he wiped out one of my 60s, summer before last, made him a little gun shy of the airplane. But I think he's over that now. Because he flew the piss out of the one that we recovered during our New Year's break last year. So he's over that. So while I'm doing this, showing you guys how to do with Koverall, he is building his DR4, or DR1, excuse me. And then when it comes time for servos and linkage and all that stuff, he's going to step over here and do this one for you guys. If he can get over his camera shyness. Sometimes it depends on his mood. Sometimes he's in a great mood and wants to do it, and sometimes he just don't even want to mess with it. He's 12. But I'm also trying to teach him as much as I can before he figures out what girls are all about. Alright, so get this center seam here. And if you're using SolarTex, which they don't make that anymore, I think you have to go with Ortex. That shit is a cost. Don't paint it with Rust-Oleum. I mean, I look at this airplane and it just kind of, oh, I shudder. Because we did SolarTex on it. Laid out beautifully. But I think it either had to do with the temperature or I just didn't prep it well enough. I used that Rust-Oleum because they had the colors I like. But at first it was like, it didn't want to dry. And then when it finally did, I shot my second coat, or my graphics, just the stars and stuff. The bottom coat lifted. The paint lifted up off of the fabric. So it's like it never really dried and caused a lot of problems. And then when I peeled the masking off, it pulled the base coat up off of everything. It kind of hurt my feelings altogether. And then as that was happening, I was learning how to start doing this stuff. I was starting to learn how and getting all my materials gathered, which it takes a while. I live paycheck to paycheck. And then I had to learn how to do it, and then I had to get enough material to do it. And here we are. I'm hoping you guys are learning something. I mean, can't make everybody happy, and I'm sorry, because I really do like making people happy. Seeing a kid smile, teaching them how to fly, or anything like that makes all the headaches and pains in the butts worth it. Now, see, that's coming up on that inside. Not a problem, because after we dope it and this dries, we can come back and trim off all the excess we want and clean it up and make it look really nice. I'm telling you, fabric like this is the way to go. I mean, it just works out so well. You just got to be patient. Don't get in a hurry. I'm like the guy that taught me how to do this. If you don't feel like doing it, don't. Because when you're doing something you don't want to do, you haul ass through it. And then it'll look like shit because you hauled ass through it. You didn't take your time. Even though Andrew commented he likes this because we're doing it the old school way. Not many people left do this anymore, because they want that instant gratification. That's fine and dandy. But I'm going to tell you something, and I can't even explain this. No, Steve, I know you're watching this. Comment on this. He built a 4-star 40 using our videos here. And there's no feeling of satisfaction like flying something that you built from a kit. You will not find any other. I mean, you kind of get used to it after a while. But that first airplane that you built, you're scared, you're anxious. It's like a first date, and you're thinking all you can think about is, I hope I don't make an ass out of myself. I hope I fly it well, and I hope I don't fart. You just all those feelings in one. And then if you did everything right, you take off and it's flying and it's doing such a wonderful job. And then it hits you after you land. At first you're thinking about just flying the airplane, which you should be. Then after you land, you realize you just flew an airplane that you built. You built. You didn't open up a box, pull it out, charge your batteries, bound your transmitter, and then fly it. You built it. Good friend of mine, he's passed away now. One thing he always said, he had a podcast, and one of his sayings was, go build something and fly it and enjoy this wonderful hobby of ours. And I've tried to keep that little saying going. I feel kind of bad because it was his saying, but I'm doing it. If I do say that, you catch me saying that, it's in memory of him. Super good guy. His name was Crash Hancock. You might have, if you're into podcasts, you might have caught it. It's still available, I think, all the recorded episodes. It's called the Crash Cast. Go catch some of those. Really good topics. I mean, it was just a bunch of dudes hanging out, talking about what they like to do. Building and flying was a huge part of it. Sometimes if you find a spot coming up, you can take the wood handle of your brush and push it down. That'll help. I know this is probably eating those guys' lunch. It cussed me for making such a long video. Again, I'm sorry. One viewer a few years ago said, I like this because it's like I'm there with you and we're working on airplanes together. And that made me feel really good about what I'm doing. I don't have a whole lot of friends. So it's not like people come by and visit all the time. Matter of fact, I got people I fly with that's never been in here. One guy's been by my shop. I did some engine repair work for him. He bent the crank to his, had a mishap, and it bent the crank on his motor. And it was a damn good motor. And he didn't want to quite throw it to the wolves just yet. Perfect. So he brought it by, being I'm a machinist. I was able to get that straight for him. And that motor's still flying today. But again, I was helping him out, and I love doing stuff like that for people. If I'm able to do something for you and it helps you out, great. If I offer advice and you cuss me for it, oh well, I tried. You know? I'm not out to make a buck, I'm just out to make people happy. That's all I ever wanted to do. Make people happy. Happy, happy, happy. I'm just doping that again, just to help make it a little bit stronger. All right. I think that is it, compadres. We're going to let that set for 24 hours, and then we'll blow it out. So that's how you address your seams and joints with SIG Koverall and pinking tape.